Hey everybody, Steve from the Zapable team, and in this tutorial video we're going to be looking at populating an application from scratch. So I have a base template application here and I've got some information that I want to populate this app with. So in this case we've used the cafe template to bring through some of the placeholder features that we can go in and customize. So if I go into the features section here, we can see that we've got the get in touch, we've got the locations, membership card, a food gallery, the my account option, we've got custom page, and we've also got the follow us option here as well, so you can see all these in here. Now I have just made some light customizations on here and populated some text just to give the app a look and feel, but we will be going through each of these to get an idea of how to customize them and change them for the app that you're going to build, the business that you're going to build an app for. So I'm using a cafe come restaurant that is fairly local to me. It's about an hour's drive from my home, and they don't know that I'm building this application, but this could be an example if I was to go and take this application to them and say, look, here's an application I built for you, how do you feel about it? Do you want to test drive it and see how it works with you as members of staff and your team? And then you can make a decision about whether or not this is something you want to roll out to your customers going forward. So I'm going to go back to the actual homepage for this application so we can see. So here I have the 3 cliffs. Okay, so I'm going to go in and manage that one. And from here you can see that the cafe template would already have been applied, so we would have had that background with that image across the top, we would have had those colors. So you can see I have made some light customizations here on the preview device on the right. So the first thing I would do is I would look for an image which represents the cafe or represents that business. Maybe it's something of significance in the area, maybe it's an internal image of the actual cafe or restaurant, or like I found with some local businesses near to me, in one in particular they have a very old grand piano in the actual restaurant itself, and that is kind of the centerpiece of that particular business, and anybody who's ever been there knows the piano, knows the restaurant, and if you show them a picture of that piano, then that would trigger a thought of, oh, it's that particular restaurant because I know that piano. So there's got to be something of significance to that business, and it's the little touches like this that can help you cross the line when it comes to making a sale, because they can see that you've considered something, in my example like the piano, that is something that's going to resonate with them as a business and with their customers. So as I said, now in this one I've used a picture of a lighthouse because there was a lighthouse near to the actual location. I haven't actually managed to grab the actual image of the one in that locality, but I'm not presenting this to the business at this stage. This is just a demo app for the purposes of training inside the members area here. So like I say, a lighthouse is quite significant for the area, and so that is what I've used the picture for. Now I've got that picture off a place called Pixabay, so if I load this up, this is a great stock image site. So it's pixabay.com, and in here you can pop in something that is relevant. In this case I use something like a lighthouse, and there is the image that I used on my one. So that's the picture of the lighthouse that you see within the application. Like I say, there's lots of images on here. These are all commercial and royalty free, so you can use them in your applications for business purposes without any attribution required. Some of them will have attribution, but do check it, but the majority definitely don't. So that's the image that I've got there. So let's go back to the application. So to change the homepage, all I did was go to change your homepage here, and then I've navigated to the folder that I've got set up with a number of the images that I wanted to use within my application. So you can see the lighthouse one is here. I've also got an image of the actual location itself, the business, and I've got an image which is a view from that premises itself. So if you're actually sat upstairs in this cafe and restaurant, that is the view that you would actually get from the window. So I've chosen that image, and all I would have done is click OK, and that would have added that image there for my app. So the localization settings, as this is a UK business, then I'm going to choose the GBP as the currency, and the language is going to be English. So I just need to find English in the list. Okay, and so I've chosen British English, And the font family, I'm quite happy with the one that the template comes with, but if I wanted to change that to something different, then I can just expand the box for choose your font family and then pick one which I can use within the app. So I think the default one I'm probably going to use is Nonito, and choose that font and then allow that to load. And yeah, you can see it might not have changed. I think that's the one that I used originally in the template. So you can see that those fonts have changed. Let's just update and preview to make sure all the changes are pulled through. So that's the first kind of section here. Now, as this cafe restaurant is one that is close to the sea, I've customized the colors here on the menu to be kind of aquatic type colors. So I've gone for like a light teal and maybe an aqua blue, and then for the text itself I've just kept the text as black. So to do that, we go to the Colors tab. And there will be more elements that we may need to customize in this color section as the app build progresses. But the basic ones I want to look at, because we're using a template and we have some of this information populated already in terms of this menu that is accessible, I can customize those right out of the gate to give the app a good look and feel that is going to be representative of that business. So on the home page, we can see we've got background and image, and what we want here is underneath some of these here. So let's go there. So the home page, we've got, like I say, the background is what we see behind these menu items. So as I said, I've gone for this sort of light teal aquatic blue kind of color, and I think the lighter color works on here to kind of complement the background of sort of sea style image. So I'm choosing that color. I've gone for a dark border to make sure that it's clear which one of these is going to be an item. And then the image icon itself, you can see these down the side. I've chosen a sort of a darker color for that, which matches the border. And then if we go into a particular feature within this, you can see with the header options here, if I go into, let's say, Get in Touch, you can see across the top here we have the Get in Touch text. And this background color applies to that section, as does the border, and then we can see the text color here. So I've customized that at the moment just because I like to have the color flow through as much as we can out of the gate. So we'll come back to the color panel when we need to shortly. When we start customizing some of the features inside here, we'll find that we might need to edit the card, we might need to edit the list, maybe some of the buttons. The button was the only other one that I did change at the start here, which is button positive, which is the one that's used by the form. So if I go into the Get in Touch thing again, you can see that we have this dark sort of blue color on the button with a black border and a white text on it as well. So button positive is the one that links up with the form here. So let's go back to the features and start looking at how we can populate those. So the first one we're going to have a look at is going to be Get in Touch. It's using the form feature, which can be found under Contact, and I've gone in, I've renamed this as Get in Touch. To rename them, you just click the little pencil icon and then you can go and change that to whatever you want, and whatever you put in this section here will be what displays on the actual menu within the app. Now I've created a basic form, and if we open up the form feature here, you can see. So what I have first of all here is an image. Then we've got a name, email and number field, and these are all set to text inputs. Okay, and then the final one then is your message, which I've used as the type text area. So when you're adding your form fields, if you look under the type option here, you can see you've got some formatting elements at the top, and then you've got some input elements on the bottom section of it. So you just pick the ones that work for you for your form, and then you can just add them in by giving them a label. So if we were to put in, for instance, a title section here, and we were just typing here something like, please complete the form below, and then I'm going to hit save. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this actual section here up. Just by left clicking and dragging, I'm going to pop this under the image. So you can see now that we have a section here which says please complete the form below, and we've got the option for the person to add their name, email and phone number in this section here. Okay, so it's really simple and really easy to use. We've got a great tutorial on the forms inside your members area. where it talks you through what each of these particular elements does and gives you a visual sort of appearance of what they do. And like I say, you can just have a look at which one meets your needs best for the form type that you're creating. Now, in terms of the questions for this form, this might seem completely basic, but what I have done in the background is I have got the customer's website open. So if I go and have a look at this, and if I go to the contact page, then what we can see is their very own form here. Okay, so it's name, telephone number, email, and message. So that's all the questions that they ask on their website, and therefore that's all the questions I'm going to ask on the form inside their application. Okay, so just keeping it nice and simple, using the materials we've already got access to on their website. And this is how I'd recommend that you do it as well. Go and have a look at their website and pull off as much data as you can that you think would be appropriate to have in an application that gives the customer a good user experience of that, informs them about the business, what they're about, what their mission statement is, what their message is, and obviously what products and services they offer, and then how they can get in touch or how they can access those products and services as well, using the feature base that you already have. Okay, so it's all about giving a good representation of that business inside an application, especially if you're presenting it to them as an option for sale for your business of the application itself. So I'm going to go back to features now that we've got that form one done, and here we have the hour locations. So you can see that's the second option on the menu here. So let's go in and edit that feature. Now this is a custom page, and to add one of those you just go to content, and then you've got the custom page option here. Okay, you just click that and then you can go in and populate it. So let's go into this one and edit what we've already done. So in this one, all I've done is added a couple of sections into the app. So on the cover photo, which is the top one here, so to add that I've just gone to cover and clicked it, and then it gives me the option to add an image just by clicking the add cover button. So I've got a cover image here. It's not the best quality, but is one that is representative of that business. So if we were doing this as a professional level, we would make sure that the image is pixel perfect and not kind of blurry as this one appears to be, because it's a poor quality image off the internet. But we would get a proper one found on Google, or even potentially, if we're in the area ourselves, take a photo of this business ourselves and use a professional level quality, just like a high resolution camera, or maybe a good photo on a phone, because cameras on phones these days tend to be just as good as the ones you can buy in, as a physical camera unit itself. So we've got the image of the business. Then we've got this text here. So people come from miles around to enjoy our homemade cakes and great coffee. So you may ask, well, where did that come from? Does that have any significance? Is that something that I've just made up? Well, the truth is this actually is on their own website. Now, if I go back to their website here, and if I go back to their coffee shop, you can see this yellow box on the side. It says, all our food is made with lots of TLC for you to enjoy. And just to the left here we have, people come from miles around to enjoy our homemade cakes and great coffee. So this is something that they've put on their own site. It has some significance. It's at the top of the page. The font is larger than most areas of font on the page. As I say, it's in a banner almost, with a picture of a cake behind. So they want you to see this, and they want you to associate this with their business. So it's quite important to them. So I've used that text on the actual app itself, because I think that seeing that on there will relate to them, because they've put that on their own website as something of significance. Okay, so for that we've just used a simple text block, which is the first one, and then we put the text in. I've centered the text, and then I've made a change to the color of the text. I've gone to make it blue. I can change this to any color just by changing it in this panel here, by highlighting the text first and then clicking this and choosing the color that I want. So as we're going for this aquatic theme, I'm going to choose the blue one and just make sure that the text is bold so it stands out. So I'll just update that so you can see just by using this. I mean, this is pretty standard for a lot of things. So we've got that text element in here now. And then beneath it we've got this, if I just drag the app down a little bit, we've got the hour location, we've got the phone number, and we've got the website address. So to do that, what we've